All right, we're going to go ahead and get started this morning. Thanks everybody for your time. Again, Mike Anderson here with American Independent Marketing marketing team. I'm joined this morning by Dave Whalen, also in our marketing team, to spend some time with you talking about Mutual of Omaha's the custom solution product and some sales tips and strategies that we've come up with to help you be able to utilize this product and work with your clients in a way that's going to be meaningful for them and get them to a point where they feel comfortable making a buying decision. Okay, so starting at the top, and some of this is conceptual and some of it is, specific product based. Starting at the top, and you've heard us say this a lot, we firmly believe that the product, the custom solution product, and the carrier, Mutual of Omaha, it's the best combination of those two things that you're going to find out there today for a lot of reasons that we'll talk about here in the next few minutes. But the first of those reasons is the carrier, Mutual of Omaha. And as you can see, and you've heard us talk about this a lot, they are the brand king. If you watch the NCAA basketball tournament and all over the last few weeks, you saw their courtside signage pop up all over the place. You see them in a lot of other places, USA Swimming as well. And the simple truth of the matter is that for baby boomers, which is the market that we're most actively working in, the brand name recognition in that group is huge with Mutual of Omaha. It's a significant opportunity for you. This is a carrier that everybody knows. In conjunction with that, and this is part of the strength, this product is the best story. It's going to be the best outcome for your client at claim time because of the cash benefit, and we'll talk some more about that in a few minutes. You've got immediate access. Your client has immediate access to benefits. Could be as much as a $35,000 to $40,000 swing that immediate access provides in a home care scenario in that first 3-month period of time. All right, and that utilization is good for the carrier because it's a pennies on the dollar proposition. We really, really believe that the cash option here is the single most important benefit available in any long-term care plan. And as you see here, we noted an example from a couple years ago where a young man was on claim being treated for cancer, and he actually was able to use the cash benefit to bring his family down to Houston, Texas, where he was being treated so that they could be together while he was undergoing that treatment. It was what he needed at that point in time, and that cash benefit gave him the flexibility to be able to do what he and his family felt was the best thing. And think about this, because I know a lot of you have already purchased long-term care on yourselves. All right, which would you buy? What product would you buy if you had a choice to buy now? Would you buy a product without a cash benefit in it, or would you go towards one that does have a cash benefit? That's just something to ask yourself, kind of a rhetorical piece there. We believe that most agents, if given the choice today on a transaction they might have done 10 or 12 years ago, they'd make the decision to go ahead and buy a policy with a cash benefit in it rather than a policy that doesn't have it. So now we're going to switch over and talk about the product piece, and there's a couple pieces within this space, the first of which are our inflation options. We call that PIC, which is points, increments, and capped options, all of which we've added or expanded within this offering. The first of those three is the inflation points. We're able to take it all the way down now to 1% compound. It's partnership approved in a lot of states, and that body of involvement is growing. We knew that this was going to resonate with agents and with clients because almost 20% of what was being sold previously with the 3% floor was either FPO, future purchase option, or no inflation. All right. It does come with that guaranteed upgrade option on the custom side, not the secure. And the guaranteed upgrade means that your client buying in at 1.5% compound can buy more inflation on any anniversary date of the policy for up to 20 years or until they reach the age of 75, whichever of those two is arrived at first. Okay. And the nice part about this, we alluded to at the beginning, is it's a great way that you can lead your clients to a price point where affordability lives. It's the term we use here. And what that really means is get them to a point where they're comfortable making the buying decision, knowing that they can make additional purchase decisions with more inflation farther down the road. And it is worth noting, 1% inflation option will increase your client's benefits by 1/3 in 30 years. 1.5% will increase benefits by more than 50% in 30 years. This is meaningful. It will be meaningful to your clients, and your ability to price it for them in such a way that they feel comfortable making that decision, that'll be significant. Okay? The second piece of this is the increment part. A 1/4 point increment. We knew that a 1-point increment was 26%. The 1/4 point increment, it's 6.5% roughly, up or down in premium. Knowing that the average couple sale is right at about $4,600, we knew that this meant you had a 6.5% savings number there was going to be about $300 a year. Again, meaningful numbers when you're looking at a 25 or 30-year life of a policy or span of a policy, if you will. A 1/2 point change, as you can see, almost $600 over the 25-year period of time that you're looking at that. Quick math there tells me that's $15,000. Not inconsequential, and it is the kind of thing that it will get your clients leaning in. And one of the things that we learned with some other inflation pieces that we had previously is the clients are comfortable with less than a big number inflation-wise because they're very comfortable with the idea that they're saving $12,000, $15,000, maybe $18,000 a year over the life of the policy. Those savings are very meaningful to them. The third piece of, actually a little more explanation on increments, a typical policy that comes in is about $4,500 a month with a $170,000 benefit pool. And for pricing purposes, we're looking at a 60-year-old client. All right, and you can see the numbers there. You're looking at a savings of nearly $400 a year by moving from 3 to 2.5%. And in most states, this is going to be partnership eligible. And if you haven't looked at our software, you'll want to do that because there's a tool on there that will show you or cover the concept and the details of product eligibility for partnership in your state. Okay? So now, the third piece of this, capped options. All right? We know from having a long history with the 20-year capped option that it's something that clients are very comfortable with. Having a finish line works for them because, as we said before, they're looking at sizable savings along the way. Okay? This is available, as you can see, we now have added the 10 and the 15-year option to what previously was lifetime and 20, available on any custom solution in inflation option. You can buy 1.5% compound for 10 years. All right. All of those include, or any other iteration for that matter, all of those include the guaranteed upgrade option that we talked about before, the ability to buy more inflation. Depending on your cap, you can buy it for up to 20 years or age 75, or in the event of having a capped option, the option goes for the period of time on the cap. You can buy more, no evidence of insurability. That is significant. And the client can't be on claim, can't be benefits eligible, can't be chronically ill. But if they are healthy, there is no evidence of insurability required. They just make the request at the anniversary point. The carrier will change the benefits, send them the invoice for the billing. The premium differential which is what we call a sliver premium. It's a lot of detailed calculation. We can give you some notes on how they would do that if you really want it, but I wouldn't get too bogged down in that simply because there's other things that you can cover that are more meaningful. So hang on for just a second. We had a question about the software warning an agent when they're constructing a policy and when they have moved outside the partnership parameters for a given state. And yes, that is correct. The software will give you a warning down at the bottom saying that the partnership option or the inflation option you have selected is not partnership approved for that age in that state. And again, when you look at the software in the middle there, there's a tab there that shows you all the different inflation pricing choices, and that one will show you whether your particular choice is partnership approved, again, for that age in that state. Okay. Quick run through on how the caps work. Again, we have our $4,500 monthly benefit, pool 170 and the 60-year-old client. you can see pricing differential here for that individual. You're looking at, looks like about almost $600 if you go down to the 20-year cap and you drop down by more than $1,000, 26% is the number we came up with there, if you go to the 15-year cap. Okay, and again, the experience we've gotten, and this is based on what agents have told us over the years, is that the clients are going to be perfectly comfortable with a cap because they're seeing that savings right there. They're seeing that actually it's $1,020 per year savings along the way. 15-year, 20-year life of the policy, big money for them, and they do again have that option of buying more, buying their way back up, if that's something that they want to do. Okay. Another piece, and we have agents that have really started to have some success with this, is to do what we call the front load. All right, and again, we're going to compare our typical sale or prototype sale at $4,500 a month. Benefit is $170,000, 3% compound lifetime for a 60-year-old. And as you can see, the premium on that, as it has been, is $4,021. The alternative to this would be to work with them on what we call a front load. And that would be a $9,000 a month benefit, a pool of $350 with no inflation. And as you can see, the pricing differential there, pretty minimum, about $200. Now, what are the advantages here? There's a couple. First of all, it's simple and easy to understand. They know exactly what they've got at the time that they buy it. Okay, there's no fixation on, in 24 years, my 3% compound is going to have my benefits double. All right, what they've got, similar to a lot of other types of insurance, is, it's that $9,000 a month pool of $350. The other piece, not insignificant by any stretch of the imagination, is what we call the intermediate risk. And this totally takes intermediate risk off the table because my boss calls it claiming early. If your client he buys this at 60 and at age 73 has to go on claim for whatever reason, he has that total pool available to him at that point in time. He doesn't have an extrapolated number off $4,500 a month and $170 in the pool, and then the calculations made for 3% inflation over the course of 12 years or so would be. So this can be significantly advantageous, and it also, the agents are telling us, this tends to get the clients leaning in a little bit because you're talking about bigger numbers. You're talking about numbers that seem meaningful to them as opposed to the 4,500 piece here. All right, so we've had a small handful of agents that have really had significant success with this. We have had others that have utilized it in case-specific situations. We're, of course, always available to spend some time and kind of coach you up on the specifics of this pertinent to a situation that you might be working with where you think it makes sense. Typically, for anybody age 58 or older, it works really well because the flip number on 3% compound is 24 years, and that takes them to 82, and that has always seemed to be 80 has seemed as though it's the number that everybody, that resonates with everybody in terms of age. Okay, talked about it a little bit before. We do have cash, 40% cash benefit. It's an alternative. We explain it as the or of an either-or proposition. When your client is benefits eligible, they have a choice of using the reimbursement component or taking that 40% on that $9,000 benefit that we talk about there. It would be $2,400 because of the initial cap. They could take that $2,400, use it as they see fit, or they can submit bills, etc., and use the reimbursement piece. It provides a level of flexibility and control at claim time that is unparalleled in the industry, and it is a big piece of this continuing tradition that we talk about where you have that value and rate combination. Again, as we said at the beginning, if you don't have cash, you really need to think about what it is that you're talking to your clients about, and it will give them the control that they really, really want at claim time. A term that we coined, rate hotness. We've looked and spent a lot of time in the lab, if you will, trying to find sweet spots for you price-wise. And what we have determined, contrary to the prevailing wisdom, is that everything went through the roof. What we've got are several different areas here where you can really have some success. All right. One of those is with married couples age 65 and over. Those prices have actually gone down, okay? Single males age 47 and up, and married males who are applying without their wife at age 45. Those premiums are neutral in a worst case scenario, and in some cases they actually go down. And again, that's a part of this continuing tradition, value and rate combination that the Mutual of Omaha product brings to the table. And the other piece, and we were talking about partnership and inflation before, okay? And to the best of our knowledge right now, the only state where you can't utilize this sell into partnership concept is Idaho at this particular point in time. And what you do by selling into partnership is your client, let's say that 3% is the option that's the low option in your state. They start with a 2% option, and then they exercise their ability to buy more inflation at any point in time in that 20-year window. By doing that, they position themselves that at the time they are on claim, they are partnership certified or partnership approved in that state and are able to make use as is appropriate and within the guidelines for a particular state. They're able to make use of the partnership structure, if you will, when they wind the claim down. Again, right now, Idaho is the only exception to being able to do this that we know of. It's a little bit of a moving target because they're continuing to work with different states to add inflation options along the way, but we would encourage you to keep this in the back of your mind. We know that partnership has become a bit of a hot button topic, and don't put yourself in a situation where the sale is dictated by the potential partnership constraints. The best thing is to get the client to have something in place, and again, as you can see here, you can sell into, they can buy their way into partnership, not inconsiderable by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, and then the last piece of the program here that we put on there that we know folks have some interest in, and I believe Jonas Roser, the president of the 3 and 4 Association, has joined us here this morning. Jonas, are you out there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Very good. Appreciate you joining us. Jonas is going to take a couple minutes here and run you through this lead program that we are making available to our agents as a result of our working relationship with the 3 and 4 Association. So go ahead, Jonas.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for attending. If you're not familiar with what the 3 and 4 is, it's a nonprofit, it's a national awareness campaign speaking to Americans on the need to form a plan. Without a plan, it's a plan to fail. And what we do is we raise awareness on different products and services associated with long-term care planning. So whether it be life insurance, LTCi insurance, reverse mortgage, med subs, anything that would be relevant to your long-term care plan. The lead program we have, it started out in long-term care insurance. I do want to clarify that as a nonprofit, we can't generate leads or sell them, but what we have done is licensed our logo out to a direct mail vendor. We do approve the copy and look what's going on with the creative, very much in the same way that Genworth has done in the past with AARP. That being said, we're averaging over 1% nationally for our long-term care insurance leads, or as high as 3.2% in a few states. I am quite aware of close to 5 agencies that are solely supporting their agents on lead generation from this program alone for long-term care insurance. And also quite a few Genworth agents are using these leads as well, as the AARP program is no longer in effect for them. What I find to be very successful with the campaign is that we have national TV commercials that play for the topic of long-term care insurance. So when you couple that with direct mail, the logo resonates very well with the consumer and makes a much stronger creative and elicits a stronger response. You know, the marketing message from a nonprofit is less threatening. We talk about long-term care planning and products that need to be in that plan. So the message does hit home. It also says a licensed insurance agent will be calling them. So to continue to be pulling such a high response in LTCi really showcases that our message is resonating with the responder. But once again, if you go to www.3and4needmore, and that's the number 3, in4needmore.com, you are able to click on, I believe, the tab called Outreach and see the long-term care insurance commercial. The commercial ends up that this is a public service announcement paid for by the Long-Term 3 and 4 Association, and to find a specialist, go to 3and4needmore.com. That's the other component that helps resonate with the consumer. There's visual TV, and then also the consumer is able to go to the website and find a specialist by zip code lookup for the categories that they're looking for. So once again, they could go put in 98004 and then select long-term care insurance, and an agent that is a registered agent with the 3 and 4 will then populate there, and their contact information will show up. So a couple different ways that we're helping push people looking for support to form a long-term care plan to specialists in the field. Now, to be part of this program is very simple. You just need to pay an annual fee of $60. That's $5 a month. And you think about that, so a couple cups of coffee. And for that price, you're listed on a website for products that you sell that ranks page 1 for this search term long-term care planning. You're also then have traffic driven there by a commercial. An iPad with information about the majority of the products that you guys are probably videos there, and you're also able to download the Essentials book, which is the third component of post-drive response. All the mailers offer the 3 and 4's book, the Essentials of Long-Term Care Planning. It's 16 chapters on products and services around long-term care planning. You're able to personalize it with your own image and contact information and bio on the back. You can receive this in a PDF format, so you can fulfill it for free via email, or if you'd like, you can actually have it produced in a hard format for seminars or face-to-face meetings. It becomes a great outreach and education material marketing piece if you're doing seminars with any kind of affinity groups, associations, anything along those lines, B2B worksite accounts. It really helps raise the bar for yourself amongst your other peers within your community, because you're associated as a specialist with a national nonprofit, and you have your own education material. It almost brands you as a co-author. We have a couple other commercials coming out. We have one coming out for critical illness, and we're also looking at doing one that talks about the importance of meeting with a specialist to purchase specialty products such as annuities and long-term care insurance and things along those lines. Mike, are they able to ask questions or type in questions to you, or is there anything I missed that you'd like me to cover?
No, we're going to cover questions in a second. Give us the website one more time, Jonas, please.
Okay, it's www.3in4needmore.com. That's the number 3, IN number 4, needmore.com. At the top of the navigation bar, you'll see it says Become an Advisor. Click that. It starts out, you can become an advisor for free. By entering your information in there, you'll get our monthly email blast. You'll know what's going on. But there you can also then upgrade your status to the paid membership with paid credit cards. And then you get access, I forgot this very important component, to our advisor portal. That's where you're actually able to order the mail. You're able to personalize your book. You're able to download materials. You're able to use our 3 and 4 LTCi partnership seminar program, which has worked in over 3 states now with Health and Human Services. So lots of material and education components that you can use there to help brand yourself and raise awareness on the products that you're selling within your own communities.
Fantastic. All right, we've got everybody pretty much unmuted. I would remind folks out there, if you've got a tea kettle or a dog or something in the background, if you'd hit *6 to individually mute, that would be appreciated so that we can take questions on any part of the presentation itself or any questions that you have for Jonas on the LEAD program through 3 and 4 Association. So go ahead.
No questions. Well, if you guys would like, I'm going to give you my email too. It's Jonas, Jonas, at 3and4needmore.com. If anything resonates later that you want to ask me, I can also put you in contact with the direct mail vendor so we can, and this is a mail vendor that's been specializing in mail and direct response for these types of products for a long time as far as LEAD. And if there's any specific questions to specific zip codes, profiles, mailing lists to give you an idea on pricing. It runs a little over $500 per 1,000 pieces in the mail. So that's all in. That includes lists. They're able to pick household income, married status, certain profiling that you'd be looking for to make a more solid lead, as well as it then comes back to a proprietary database where the leads are only yours, and they're theirs for you to work. And so you can figure out your lead cost there if you're averaging over 1%.
Great. Well, thanks for making that one available for our crew, Jonas. We really appreciate that very much. Want to make one last check through to see if we have any other questions. If you'd like a copy of the PowerPoint presentation from today, the slides, email me at mike.anderson, A-N-D-E-R-S-O-N, at whyam, WHYAIM.com. And we'll get that to you. We'll have the recorded version, the archive of this will be on our loaded onto the website by midday or so today. And we've got a lot of other good stuff coming up. I would advise you to go to the whyam.com website, check out our webinar calendar. We've got a lot of other good webinars coming up here throughout the month of April. And we'll make one last pass through for questions here. Any questions out there?
Please repeat that email address.
Mike.Anderson. Which one, Mike's or Jonas?
Mike's.
Mike.Anderson,
Okay.
S-O-N, at whyam, WHYAIM.com. Shoot me a note. We'll get the slides out to you here this morning. Okay, any other questions out there? Okay, we'll call that done then. Dave Whalen, thank you for your time. Jonas, yours as well. We appreciate you guys helping us here. You folks out there, we appreciate your time. Call us. Let's talk about things we can do here with AIM to help you continue to grow your business. Thanks, everybody. We will